Hello and welcome. This is your weekly Health RX for the week of January 25th. I'm Dr. Avanti Kumar Singh.
And I'm Dr. Thanmeet Sethi, and this is week 2 of our 4-week deep dive on energy. So last week, we talked about why your energy disappeared, what's actually happening in your body during perimenopause and menopause, that the mitochondria aren't producing like they used to, that the cortisol curve is disrupted, why maybe nothing you do now works anymore like it used to. And this week, we're going to go from understanding to action. And so today we're talking about the first 60 to 90 minutes of your day that sets your energy for everything that follows. When you get those 90 minutes right, your day has a fighting chance. And when we get them wrong, well, then we end up chasing energy all day long.
Exactly. And here's something that most people don't realize. Your energy isn't random. It's actually set quite early in the morning. So what you do in the first 60 to 90 minutes after you wake up determines your cortisol pattern, your blood sugar stability, your focus, your mood, all of these things for the entire day. It's kind of like setting the thermostat first thing in the morning. And when you set it wrong, you spend all day just trying to adjust it. And here's the problem. Most of us don't even know that we're sabotaging ourselves without knowing it because we feel like we're doing productive things in that first 90 minutes, but actually that's hijacking our biology. And so by the time that we feel that crash at 10 o'clock in the morning or maybe the anxiety at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the damage was actually done hours ago, first thing in the morning. So today we're going to explain what's happening in those first 60 to 90 minutes, the science and the physiology of it.
All right, so let's talk about what's supposed to happen when you wake up. About 30 to 60 minutes after you open your eyes, your body produces a natural surge of cortisol. It's called the cortisol awakening response. That's your biological start signal. It wakes you up, sharpens your focus, and gets your immune system online. And then, and this part's important, cortisol should taper down through the day, hitting its lowest at night so you can go to sleep. So it's like that alarm clock we talked about last week, going off in the morning to wake you up and then turning off in the evening. But what goes wrong for most women in midlife is that alarm clock gets disrupted. Either it won't go off, maybe the cortisol's flat in the morning, you can't wake up, you feel like you just need caffeine to feel human, or it's stuck on where cortisol is spiking randomly at different times of the day, 10 a.m., 3 p.m. You feel anxiety or crashes or just reactive. Or it goes off at 3 a.m. That's my number one problem. And you're wide awake staring at the ceiling. So research shows that this kind of chronically dysregulated cortisol pattern is linked to so much burnout, anxiety, depression, even weakened immunity and metabolic dysfunction. So it's not just feeling tired, it's your entire biology off rhythm. And like we're saying, what you do in that window after you wake up either anchors that rhythm or breaks it.
And here's what's really interesting about this. Research shows that morning light is actually the master reset or the master control. The morning light will actually modulate how strong your cortisol awakening response is. A stronger light signal equals a stronger start for your day, a stronger alarm clock going off. But here's the thing, 10 minutes of outdoor light, even on a cloudy day, gives you 10,000 lux, versus indoor light, it only gives you 100 to 300 lux. What that means is that even getting outside for just 10 minutes will actually give you more of a light response, more of a light stimulus than staying inside. That's why getting outside for some natural sun in your eyes is really important because it helps to activate that alarm to help that cortisol awakening response. So light isn't optional in the morning. It's actually really medicinal. It tells your brain what time it is. It tells your brain what hormones to release. And without that light signal at the right time, your whole system is off. Your cortisol never anchors, and you spend all day after that trying to compensate.
Exactly. And what happens for most of us is that before we get that light signal, before cortisol has a chance to rise naturally, we reach for our phone. And I know this is my constant tug of war. is, not checking my email before I start my morning even. I'm barely awake and I might see a text or an email and then it's done for me. So, two things happen simultaneously when we do that. First, there's a dopamine hit. There's some kind of notification or news, and your brain wants more of it. It gets a little hit of that dopamine. And second, there's a cortisol spike. So, when I see an email, I know there's something I have to do, or I see a piece of news and I'm already reactive. My stress hormones are surging. So, what we're doing is hijacking our natural cortisol awakening response before it can establish itself. So, instead of a smooth cortisol rise that you get to control, you get a chaotic spike that your phone is controlling. It's like your phone starts your day for you instead. And then you're set up for all these crashes and reactivity. I honestly feel like I'm managing this tug of war with my phone every day.
I totally do too. I mean, I literally have to remind myself, you cannot look at your phone first thing in the morning, even though I teach this all the time, right? We're just as human as everybody else. I actually have my phone outside of my bedroom on purpose so that I would actually have to get up and go outside of my bedroom to actually check it. So I've put some barriers up for myself in the
Oh,
morning.
yeah, I do too, but I find a way to overcome the barriers. Then I
Yeah,
get up and I
exactly.
go check it. I mean, seriously, it's hard.
Yeah, it is. And it's really interesting because I think that we all get this message, right, of these morning routines that make sure you don't check your phone. And that's sort of like the rule that we're all hearing, right? That it's bad for us, which is true, and get some morning light. But here's the thing. I don't think that just saying that to everybody, to every woman actually works because we all have different personalities, emotional characteristics. We have different constitutions according to Ayurveda. And so what might work for you, Tanmeet, versus me is totally different to get me to not look at the phone, right? Or I
Exactly.
just need a different routine in the morning so that I'm getting that natural light instead of getting a dopamine hit and a cortisol response from my phone, right?
Right. No, I think that's the part that I feel like I want to reach out to everyone and make sure they know that, some women need to slow down first thing. Their system's already racing. That's me. And activation makes it worse. And other women need to speed up, actually. Their systems are sluggish or heavy, and gentle slowing down actually deepens that. And some women have both patterns at once. So, what we say to people to do actually is too generic to work. And so it might be why you've seen a morning routine on Instagram and you're upset that it didn't work for you because it wasn't designed for your biology. And there's a specific way to use light and movement that resets your cortisol curve. But the timing and the pace and how you do this depends on your dosha, your Ayurvedic constitution.
Exactly. So that's where we're going to leave you today. We've given you the science, why the first 60 to 90 minutes of the morning matters so much, how light resets your cortisol and your whole system, and why your phone is actually sabotaging you. But the prescription, the exact steps for your body, that's in the dosha episodes. Your first 90 protocol is what we're calling it. And if you get that right, you'll feel different pretty quickly. Get it wrong, and you make the pattern worse. So if you haven't taken the dosha data assessment, go to myarvasi.com so you can find out your dosha, your constitution, and then come back and get your personalized prescription.
And just one important note, starting on February 8th, those dosha-specific episodes will be part of the paid subscription. So if you've been on the fence, it's a good time to join, and you can try it out now and see how it works for you. We'd love to have you. Okay, that's your weekly Health RX for this week. Next week, in week 3, we'll be talking about creatine for your dosha. Until then, be well.